Hi everyone, Toridey. It's another beautiful day, and today I have my dad. Somebody I don't even know if I should say I trust, somebody I look up to, a mentor, not just to me but to so many people. If I want to start talking about, if I want to introduce you for the proper way, we'll know end. So I'll leave him to talk about himself, and then if we go on, welcome to Toridey.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to come on Toridey today. It's always a privilege and an honor to be able to be on a platform like this. I'm Apostle Mark Fundoh. I'm the senior pastor here at Global Light International Church. I wear a lot of hats. I'm also the president of TACCNAM, the Apostolic Church North American Missions. It's an organization that houses many churches. We have about 10 churches under, the organization. Also a soldier. I'm a chaplain in the United States Army.
Oh.
I'm a businessman. So I wear so many hats. But thank you so much for having me on.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about where you're from.
Okay. I'm from Cameroon, the northwest region of Cameroon, precisely Bamenda. And for those who have ever been to Bamenda, as you're entering Bamenda, you pass through my village before you go actually to Bamenda town. So I'm from Mendankwe. They call it Bamendankwe from Bamenda. I was born in Banso in Kumbo, which is also in the northwest region. My parents were working there. But I continued my education and the other part of my life in Bamenda. And the first time I left Bamenda, I was heading to the University of Boya, then to Nigeria, then to the United States.
You're senior pastor at GLIC. Tell us a little bit about GLIC.
Global Light, GLIC is an acronym for Global Light International Church.
Okay.
A church that was founded in May of 2014. Our vision here in GLIC is to raise up an end-time army with a global mindset deeply rooted in Christ to take the gospel to the ends of the earth. And that vision for the past many years have been so much fulfilled. We have released about 12 pastors from this church who are pastors now in this community and other communities, pastoring churches, which means the light is going. And currently the Lord is doing great things here in GLIC. We are a very influential and impactful church in the community. And we have a great plan of expansion in 2022, and even to have branches. I'm not going to hash it ahead of time, but there's a lot of works going on in the backgrounds that will be unleashed this 2022.
Wow. So now you said something about the Apostolic Church. Is it TACCNAM or
TACCNAM, yeah, TACCNAM. TAC is an acronym for the Apostolic Church Cameroon. The Apostolic Church Cameroon is the first Pentecostal church in Cameroon. The Apostolic Church Cameroon is about 72 years old and has churches in all the regions in Cameroon. More than 70,000 Christians, over 700 pastors. So it's a great organization. They have schools, they have all this, they have hospitals, schools, and all that. And then TACCNAM is the apostolic children who are in the diaspora. At some point, they thought to themselves that we left the Apostolic Church Cameroon. We are now finding ourselves in America. Let's come together, even though we're in different states. Okay. So they came together 10 years ago as TAC friends, friends that came from the Apostolic Church. Down the road, we told ourselves that if we are Christians, why not us start talking about church? Then 3 years after TAC Friends was birthed, TACCNAM was birthed, which is a church part of TAC Friends. So we had the first president of TACCNAM that was in leadership for 1 year. After that, I hosted the convention here, and I was elected president 6 years ago. So I've been president of TACCNAM for 6 years, plus the other 1 year, 7 years. So TACCNAM is 7 years old. So TACCNAM works in partnership and close collaboration with TAC Cameroon. So we do conventions in Cameroon, we do conventions here. For example, we have conventions coming up in May, and the president of TAC will be here.
Tell us about the Apostolic Church Convention in Cameroon.
The Apostolic Church Convention in Cameroon just passed about 2 weeks ago. It started on the 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12, that weekend in December of 2021. It was a great convention. Now, that is the 62nd edition of that convention,
Yes.
which means that convention has taken place for more than 60 years.
Wow.
I'm telling you. But now, 61 of those conventions took place in Kumba, in Toko Street, where we have the headquarters of the Apostolic Church. But due to this crisis that is currently going on in Cameroon and has been going on for the past 5 to 6 years, because of security reasons, under the leadership of the President, Apostle S.M. Bote, he decided that the convention should go to Limbe Botanical Garden. So for the first time in the history of the Apostolic Church, convention took place in Limbe. And guess what? For the first time in the history of the Apostolic Church, we had a great crowd in that convention. There have never been that much people in a convention the way we had this year. So people were excited. People came. The space was there. So there is this talk going on now that Limbe might be the permanent place.
So why do people think it's important for people to come together like that every year?
We do it every 2 years. Convention takes place every 2 years. It used to be every year in the past. Then they kind of changed it that, let the fields do their local convention the odd year. But it's very important for Christians to come together like that because, number one, they see each other. Those from the Northwest get to see their brothers and sisters in the Southwest and Littoral and all those other places. And they prayed together. The Bible says in the book of Acts that when the day of Pentecost came, they were gathered in one place and in one accord. And the Bible also says in the book of Hebrews, forsaking not the assembly of the brethren. So sometimes it's important once every 2 years for all the churches to come together, fellowship as one, sing together, worship together, see one another, energize themselves, have a solid teachings, take instructions and announcements, and then take it back to their respective fields and groups.
Wow. So what was the experience for you?
Amazing experience. It was, it's been close to 20 years that I attended convention in Cameroon. So this convention was very remarkable for me because, number one, I was not only going to this convention as a participant. I was going to this convention as a speaker. And it turns out that it was a very impactful convention because we had people coming from Nigeria. We had people coming from Switzerland. We had people coming from Equatorial Guinea, Niger, and of course the United States. So it's the dream that the Apostolic Church have had about an international perspective is actually coming to pass. So it was very impactful, and I'm already looking forward to 2023. So
what would be your message to those who did not attend the event?
For those who did not attend the event, I would say that, hey, social media is there. I know there are so many obstacles for these people to not have attended the convention. But if you go to Facebook, you go to Glorious Television, which is the arm of the Apostolic Church, you'll be able to see the teachings, the videos of all the preachings and all that. And I'll also tell them that start planning for 2023 now. It doesn't take much in Cameroon to displace yourself from one region to another and attend a convention, especially Limbe. And guess what? I just enjoyed Limbe. The weather in Limbe, I'm not going to get into some details. I had a good time in Limbe.
Well, so it's 2022. By the way, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And so what is your message to people, our community?
I'm currently a member of the Cameroonian community here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And as you know, I've been in this community for 17 years. And 17 years is not 17 years. We've seen the community grow from a small community to a huge community. We have more than 1,500 Cameroonian families in the DFW area. Can you believe that? Wow. From all walks of life, they are right here in the DFW area and growing every day in numbers. Those coming from Cameroon, those coming from other countries, and those relocating from other states to Texas for some reason. So my message to the community is that, hey, we grow as one. Yes. We have to be together. We have to support one another. I'm very pleased with the community that I have now than the community that I met when I came here 17 years ago.
Wow.
The young people are supporting each other in the information technology field, the IT field. I see a lot of classes going, a lot of unity going on. Very important. In 2021, we had some demises. We had some key community people like Paul Kezo, who passed on. And I saw the way the community came out in their numbers, not only physically, but financially. Oh, they made that burden very, very easy. I preached at his funeral, and the crowd that I saw there. And I want to say that we are here in the diaspora. We are stronger together, and we are weak when we are divided. Let's stand with one another this year, 2022, like never before.
Wow. Is there any topic you wanted us to talk about that I've not mentioned?
Well, I just want to say that with a growing community, I also want us to start focusing in this 2022 to make sure that our community takes God first.
Okay.
You know, prosperity is not a function of accumulating wealth. People think that when you have a big house and you drive a big car and you have money in your bank account, then you are prosperous. No, that's not the definition of prosperity. Prosperity is when you are happy. Prosperity is when you make Toridey happy. Prosperity is when you put a smile on somebody's face. Then you are happy, then you prosper. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 says, if you do all these things, then you shall have good success. It means there is bad success if there is good success. So I would love again that on Toridey and many other platforms, let's start sounding very solidly and calling on our community to say, hey, you know what? Look for a local church. Be a member. Be planted. Draw close to God. A Sunday that you cannot make it to church, make sure you're on social media. You're feeding your spirit. Stand with one another. Support one another. Last Sunday in our church, we had a young man who went through surgery. You were there. I visited the church. Our church, you know, we had made a pledge to send that young man to therapy, and we've kept up with our pledge. This past Sunday, we did the last session of our pledge, and it's not going to be last because he still has some work to do. We'll continue to start. That is what it means to be part of the community. Tomorrow, this guy is going to come back, stand up on his feet, and be a community person, and move on with his family and all that. And we here in Glig will look at him and we'll be like, you know what? We contributed to make this happen, and it will be our joy.
Wow. Thank you very much for coming, sir. Any day Toridey is home. If you feel like you need our services, just let us know. And I think I've not even thanked you enough for what you've been doing for the community as an individual. No be as Pastor Mark or, I mean, as Mark Fundoh. I know if I want to go into that details, we'll stay the whole day. But thank you so much. And like I said, any day, anytime, if you need Toridey services, just give us a call. By the way, how can we follow you on social media?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. And if you just type Mark Fundoh, you will be able to get me all through these platforms. And I'm doing a lot of work on my YouTube channel to make sure that it has the videos that are needed in our time. And I also want to use this opportunity to thank Toridey so much. The birth of Toridey came as a surprise, but came at the right time. And I want to call on the whole community that when you see Toridey logo come up, share it, support it, push it. And sometimes it's not only that sharing, it's also seeing a way that we can make that video to go to people that are not able to get it. And this can be financially. So I know you, Toridey, you need to be able to let us know the avenues and the platforms and the avenues on which we can be able to support. This is a ministry.
That's true.
You will be surprised how much information has passed through this medium to people that if this medium was not there, they will not be able to hear. And it will be our joy to say, hey, maybe we make a monthly commitment. You know, $50, $100 will go a great length to be able to take this message. Let me tell you something before we close. When I went to Cameroon, I realized that you and I, we don't have phones. Go to Cameroon.
They have sophisticated.
No, we don't have phones. You don't have phones. Go to Cameroon, you will see that these guys are highly connected.
Yeah.
They have their internet services. So the Cameroon I left 20 years ago, I'm thinking in my mind that I need to go to some cyber cafe, go sit down. No. Nobody goes to no cyber cafe.
Yeah.
They have sophisticated phones and gadgets and everything. I looked a little stupid when I went down there this time. So this time around, I made sure that I had a sophisticated phone too, and my iPad and everything. So the world has changed. The world has gone global. So what we do here in the next second is all over Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is small Toridey. I'll be getting for today.